Welcome back to Beach and Ball. On today's episode, we are going to be looking at our players of the week, recapping the past 2 weeks of the best conference in all of the land. We'll give, of course, our big standings update and throw in a little trivia in there for the people. And then finishing up with our teams of the week, our preview for this week's action, as well as our picks for this week. Welcome in. This is episode number 11. So our first time in the double digits of this show, of this wonderful show. I'm Ryan.
And my name is Lucas.
Yeah, hard to believe we made it to episode 11, right?
I know it's crazy. We just keep chunking away. We're filming this episode a little bit like later than normal, what we usually do, but a lot of stuff's been happening in the land of the Big West, and we're going to talk about it all still.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff has happened since we last recorded this. So yeah, a lot has happened. So do we just want to go ahead and just dive right into all this?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I wanted to at least start off with looking at the past two players of the week. So February 5th, that week, it was Elijah Pepper, because of course it was.
Yeah.
So second time winning the award this year. That week he averaged 20 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, and their wins over UC Santa Barbara and Cal Poly. We're gonna look at them in a little while too. We're gonna look at that in a little while too, in a little more depth. But so he currently has the fourth most points in the history of the conference.
How many is
So
he behind number 3?
I have no idea actually, but no matter what, he's doing good, I would say.
Very.
Um, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
just recently he's churned out some 30-point, 20-plus point games already, so
he threw 27 the other night too.
yeah.
Um, let's see. He's leading the league in scoring, which isn't really too much of a surprise. Um, the other guys nominated, we have obviously it's going to be a lot of familiar names at least. So Deshaun Allen Ikens from Northridge, Barrington Hargris from Riverside, Caleb Higgins from Bakersfield, AJ Mitchell from Santa Barbara, Tyler McGee from UC San Diego. We actually have a newcomer in the next one. Darren Saran from UC Irvine.
Okay.
I found out about him because he a little tease for team of the week. He's from Turkey. He's from Istanbul. And then Marcus Shahonas from Long Beach State. So a lot of familiar names up there, as is usually the case with this.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to the team of the week segment because I've got somebody new. At least I can't remember if we've talked about him before, but showed up on my radar and I was like, yep, I can't wait to include him.
So yeah, when we get into some UC Irvine talk, he's going to be present in all of that. And then this past week, Justin McCoy won it for Hawaii.
There you go.
So it's first career weekly honor. Which he was, I think when I looked this up, he was a grad student. So there you go. And also I just like this. He's the second Rainbow Warrior to win that award this year. Noel Coleman had the other one.
Nice.
So he averaged 19.5 points a week last week, 10 rebounds, 2.5 assists. They beat UC San Diego, which that one was in overtime.
Wow.
And then they thumped UC Davis last week.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming at all.
I don't think any of us had it on the radar.
Nope.
A win, maybe. That no.
Now, it just goes to show you, like, now that we're nearing postseason, March is just around the corner, and you don't want to see any of these teams on your side of the bracket because anything can happen. And even if you've been doing your fair share of winning, somebody else can come in that real quick.
I know, right? Um, so other thing about McCoy too, he is so the second best player on Hawaii in terms of points and in rebounds per game. The other guys nominated: Deontay Bostic from Northridge, Pierre Cockrell II from UC Irvine, Ben Grischi, I'm assuming that's how you say his name, from Riverside, Jaden Jones from Long Beach State, Elijah Pepper, of course, and then Anamanala Tate Jones from UC San Diego. So those are the players of the week for the past 2 weeks.
Nice.
Wish we
Well
had a
deserved.
sponsor because wish we had a sponsor for that because that feels like that would just be fun. These are the
Yeah.
players of the week brought to you by I don't know
brought
FanDuel
brought
Sportsbook,
yeah. Brought to you by insert your company name
uh,
here.
Hawaiian Airlines.
Hawaiian Airlines. Let's go.
There is a Hawaiian Airlines, isn't there?
Uh Probably, but um I think the promised land of airline sponsors would be cool if we got sponsored by like Alaskan Airlines or like uh Fly Emirates or something like
Fly
that.
Emirates. You ever been on an Emirates flight?
No, I'm far too poor for that.
You ever see the video from like their whatever it is? Isn't it like their business class is like they have like a full bed?
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's what I need though. I can't sleep sitting up. So like if I'm
Oh,
gonna
I hate it.
sleep, especially on like a international flight or something that I'm gonna be in the air for 12 hours, I pretty much need a bed. Now, the swankiest flight I've ever been on was an international flight with Delta.
Okay, yeah, yeah, Delta's really good too. Oh, they're also another one that's more expensive than you think.
Yeah, the seat was just okay, but on-flight entertainment was pretty cool. Free movies, all that jazz.
Yeah, you and I are in the same boat. I for one cannot sleep like sitting up.
Nope,
I need to I
impossible.
need to get I need to get comfortable. And and I can't just like lay down in the aisle because apparently that's frowned upon.
Yeah, I used to do that on the bus all the time though. For
So did
bad
I.
trips. Yeah, no, I'm like a bird. You gotta like trick me into thinking it's nighttime. So like me laying down is like the when you put a blanket over the bird's cage to like trick it into thinking it's nighttime.
Did you ever? I assume you probably just laid on the floor. Did you ever do the thing where you tried to stretch across the seats?
Yes, and
I can't
it
do that either.
it rarely worked.
If I was laying down and my feet were on the ground, I think I could still fall asleep. But yeah, that's plain talk. Uh, Not brought to you by Allegiant.
Yeah.
Would you like a standings update?
Yeah, hit me with it.
So double bye, not really the teams at the top haven't changed at all. So the double buys are the same two, Irvine and UC Davis.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be that way at
Uh,
the end too.
I have the same feeling. Although UC Davis, we're recording this on later on a Thursday. UC Davis lost tonight, of course.
Yeah.
Um, so that could be important considering that the team they lost to has a single bye. So Long Beach State and Northridge have the two singles. And then the other team, so the season ended right now at least. UC Santa Barbara would have to play UC Riverside,
Mm.
and then Hawaii would have to play Bakersfield. Meanwhile, Fullerton and Cal Poly are on the outside looking in.
Yeah, and I need to look at the rest of the games, how many games they have left. Because we need to find out when it's the point of no return for Cal Poly if they're going to turn it around at all and get into the conference tournament or not. Like, what's their doomsday clock, if you will?
It's got to be close. If they
Yeah.
haven't passed it already, it has to be close.
Yeah, so we might start seeing a little E next to their name in the table pretty soon.
I wish they actually did that on like the conference standings because they you don't really see it happen too often.
Yeah, well, not a lot of conferences do the thing where like some teams miss out. Like even in the SEC, yeah, they got to play like the play-in tournament or something, but nobody's really eliminated.
So let's see. Okay, yeah, so they lost tonight to Hawaii, got mauled. Um, there are they have 6 games left, and they need to win 5 games.
Wow. Okay.
So a tall task to say the least.
Yes. So pretty much the Rubicon is in 2 weeks or next week, probably.
And gets and he- so hypothetically, let's say they win their next 4 games. Here would be their last two. They
Oh
have to
man.
go to Irvine, California,
Ah.
to play them,
Oh
and then
no.
let's say they beat them, then they have to go to La Jolla to try to beat San Diego, who is pretty much just playing to get recruits at this point. They can't play in the tournament.
Yeah, but they could be playing spoiler. Like imagine imagine beating all those teams just to have it ended by a team that can't make the tournament.
They actually could win some of those games because they're all against teams that don't have buys, except for the other bottom two.
Okay. Well,
It's
we'll
Fullerton,
we'll see.
Riverside, Santa Barbara, and Bakersfield.
We'll see. So catch that on our next episode where we talk about has Cal Poly passed the Rubicon or not.
Even though more than likely it's just going to be us probably putting up a tombstone for Cal Poly.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll I don't think we'll get copyright struck if we play taps.
I also found out that I forgot that they called that Cal Poly in the town is called Slow. I think just kind of funny.
Yike.
Yeah, San Luis Obispo,
Slow.
Slow,
Yike.
Sloka.
Um, and better news for Cal Poly. I did some independent research and eventually we still got to figure out the logistics of this, but I can order wine made by Cal Poly students. So at some point or another, we promise you a wine tasting episode. When that will be, I cannot say, but we promise you that it will happen eventually.
The funny thing is, funny enough, I don't even know if you can do that on YouTube. Actually, we're
Really?
drinking we're drinking unknown fluid.
Yes, fruit juice.
Yeah, we're drinking purple
Yeah.
fluid
There's white grape juice and purple grape juice, and this one is
and
called a
lean.
yeah, and this one's called a rosé. Is
Yeah,
is the
actually, wait, it's called like we have to do like the uncultured name. It's the Rosie.
the rosy, yeah. And then at the end we'll do something that will hurt the hearts and minds of every wine lover out there, and we'll mix it
We're
all
just gonna
together in
we're just
some
gonna
God
chug the
forbidden.
bottle.
No, we'll like whatever we have left, we'll mix together in some like God forbidden jungle juice.
Oh my goodness.
And see, honestly, I've done that before. It was at like a pre-wedding thing. It was almost like a bachelor party, or bachelorette party rather. Um, yeah, we did our little wine tasting, and then at the end we got bored, so we are like, kids with potions in their mother's bathtub with their expensive body washes, and we were mixing all these wines, and I drank it, and I was like, honestly, that's pretty good.
It's more bravery than me, I could say.
Right.
Although I probably would try it actually. Who am I kidding? So do we want to get into at least some of the happenings from the past couple weeks since we've been doing this?
Yeah.
Which team would you like to start with? Because I looked at the breakdown from the past few weeks. We
Uh-huh.
had four teams that went 3-1. So those are the teams that we're going to look at. We're going to do choose your own adventure. Do you want to go A, B, C, or D?
Um, all right. You know what? I think I've only ever read one Choose Your Own Adventure, and now I'm interested in doing it again. Let's go with A. Let's start off as God intended and see if we want to break off from there.
Oh, good, because I was already on that page. Um, so we're going to start off with, speaking of the anteaters, the anteaters.
Nice.
Um, UC Irvine has went 3-1. They've won five of their last six. Uh, Teams they beat Cal Poly. Beat Cal Poly there. They beat Hawaii, and they also beat UC Santa Barbara. They pretty much handled them in all of their games. So let's start off with Cal Poly. Just let's just get it out of the way. Um, Cal Poly actually kept it tight through the first half against UC Irvine at first, which also from looking at what their games have been so far, they do keep it close at least in the first half of the game. This is what kind of what we want to see, I guess.
Yeah. So it's more of like a conditioning issue where like they just feel gassed over the second half and the whatever margin of lead that they either have or don't have just explodes.
Yeah, like so they were up one at one point, and then they at the half they were only down by three.
Not bad.
But then here's where the wheels fall off. UC Irvine shot 53% in the second half and 4 for 6 from three.
Yep.
That'll
That'll
do
be a
it.
killer. Yeah, that'll kill you right there.
Also in the last
Top of you getting gassed, yeah.
also the last 6 minutes they UC Irvine went 18, scored 18. Cal Poly scored eight. The other kind of problem.
Hmm.
So the game ended up 73-59. Um, Might as well shout out some of these guys. For Cal Poly, Kobe Sanders, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Um, Joel Armatrading, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and assist, a block, and a steal. Quentin Jones, 8 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. I feel bad for Kobe Sanders, to be honest.
Yeah, he really gives it his all. Um, and comes up short a whole lot. Uh, not for the lack of trying, at least. So I am really interested to see where his future takes him. Um, so I'm blissfully unaware of the recruiting or draft needs of NBA teams. But I feel like he should be good enough to land in the G League somewhere, and maybe he'll get a call up from an NBA squad if that's his goal.
Well, actually, he's a junior. Actually, no,
Okay.
he's a senior this year. So
Yeah.
I guess if he chose to transfer, which I mean, hopefully, I would like him to stay there. But if he
Mhm.
chose to transfer, at least he has some good numbers to go with him. And then for UC Irvine, might as well I'll talk about them too. So Darren Saran, which I talked about from Turkey, 17 points, a rebound, an assist, and 4 steals. Devin Tillis, 15 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Justin Hahn, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. But yeah, Cal Poly actually did like keep this game relatively close, probably closer than it should have been, since it also says yeah they held the game to single digits pretty much until the end of the game
Mm.
when they had to foul.
Not bad. I mean, that's a very winnable game for them then, and yet we've seen them have winnable games a whole lot, and they just can't figure out the end game.
Never forget the Lancer joust though,
Yeah.
with all 59 people or whatever it was.
Yeah. Was that their last win?
Um, I have no idea.
I think so. I
I have
think
no idea when
their last one was in like December.
one of us happened to pick them to win the Lancer Challenge. The only time I picked them to win. And it was one of their only 4 wins.
Yep.
Yeah, the other did you see the guy did you see that Detroit Mercy won their first game? Yeah, like yesterday.
I did, and they had as many wins as they had fans storm the court. Like
Oh my.
one guy stormed the court.
Shout out that guy. I don't know
I know.
what is he doing?
Yeah, like was he there alone or did his friends like not have any faith in him? He was just like, "Yeah, we won. Like, let's go to the court. Let's go to the court." And his friends were like, "No
Nah,
thanks.
man.
No,
Do you think the Horizon League has fines for storming the court?
I hope not. Or at least I hope it's a case by case basis because
That'd be
like
hilarious if it was $25,000 for just that one guy, right?
yeah,
Or
horrible. Yeah, and I know in like football it gets to like 100,000. So like imagine one fan. Uh, would that even be a court storming at that point, or would it just be a closed streaker? Like,
oh yeah, but by the way, we can talk about this since I don't know if legally we're allowed to use the big game, the proper name of the big game. Do you see the guy who ran out onto the field?
yeah, I think there were two guys, and it got labeled as streakers, but I think they had
He's
their
not a
pants on.
streaker.
Yeah, it was like,
You're just a jerk.
yeah, well, two guys just like ran out there without their shirts on, and I was like,
You
okay,
you gotta be you gotta be nude to be a streaker.
yeah, for real. You paid $10,000 for your ticket to get arrested and miss the rest of the game. That went into
But
overtime and one of the better Super Bowls to watch in recent history, and you wasted all that money.
yeah, what happened to this country if you're gonna streak, you're just running onto the field without a shirt on,
Yeah, no,
and it's considered streaking.
yeah, this is a family podcast, but I have some thoughts. You gotta. I was about to be like,
I mean,
I'll,
we haven't gotten our murder mention in yet.
I know. Yeah, we'll get to it hopefully.
I'm sure soon enough.
Yeah, or when we're wrapping up, we'll just be like, hey, how how about well, I mean, we could talk about other
Oh
things that
boy.
happened to the big game uh at the parade, but we won't.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
too soon. Um but
Yeah.
yeah, no. The please keep your clothes on. Don't coming from someone who doesn't have that money to spend, um don't spend a whole lot of money just to get arrested.
Yeah, really. Um, Although there was the one guy, I think it was the COVID year that a guy went streaking, but he had like a G string on. I think
Yeah,
okay, that I think that counts as streaking.
a G-string or a banana hammock.
Yeah, it was one of those two things. But yeah, he had no pants on. Put it that way. He at least had no pants
Yeah,
on.
it's streaking as God intended it.
That's right, but not quite as God intended it. But
Yeah. I don't know. He invented it.
that's true. God was the original streaker.
Yeah. Well, at least Adam was.
Yeah, all you had to do is actually that's true. All they did was streak, just walking
Yeah,
around with a fig leaf on.
I know. I mean, so, what is the reverse of streaker? Like, who is the first person to wear clothes?
Yeah, the guy, you're just the guy at the nudist beach that just runs out there with clothes on.
Yeah.
So anyway, UC Irvine, UC Irvine then turned around after beating Cal Poly and just destroyed Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
So the final score of that game was 93-68.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, the game was never really close. UC Irvine outscored Hawaii 62-34 in the paint,
Damn.
and they out rebounded them by 12. Like literally the pretty much the points in the paint literally just decided the game. as usually seems to happen in college basketball too.
Yeah, people just get pushed around down there. Like you get one mismatch and then a guy that's a lot bigger and stronger, there's no stopping him from getting to the rim.
Here's also what didn't help Hawaii if they wanted to win this game. Hawaii shot UC Irvine shot the best they had from the field since like November when they were paying
Wow.
a team to beat them.
Wow.
They shot 61% from the field, so they were making everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I can't imagine throwing up 10 shots and 6 of them fall on average.
And just for comparison, things for Hawaii weren't great. They shot 44% from the field and only about 50-60% from the line.
Jeez.
Not ideal. Um, so Ben Lukton, he scored 15 points, had 6 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Carter Welling, 14 points, 7 rebounds, an assist, and 2 blocks. Pierre Cockrell II, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, and our new we're fans of this guy now. Darren Saran, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals.
Nice.
Hawaii, might as well shout out them too. 44. Oh wait, yeah, I already said that. Bernardo da Silva, 19 points, 8 rebounds, an assist, and 3 blocks, and with a steal. I'm also trying to figure out a way to combine rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. So I'm just gonna call it. I almost just want to call it bars.
Yeah.
He got bars.
You got bars.
Uh,
7, 8, 9, 2 bars.
so let's see. Jovan McClanahan, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. And Ryan Rapp. Speaking of bars,
Yeah.
15 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. That actually should be. That's what I should just call myself. Just Ryan Rapp.
Ryan Rapp. How do you spell that?
RAPP.
RAPP. Okay. Yeah.
He's
No,
got
that
2 P's.
2 P's. Yeah, that sounds like a Marvel superhero name. Like what is it?
What was which one are you trying to think of?
Bruce Banner, the Hulk, or Peter
Oh,
Parker.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah. No, they love to do that alliteration stuff, and now you got Ryan Rapp.
Which I like how they just went alliteration with those, and then they just go like Tony Stark.
Tony Stark, yeah.
What was Captain America's real name?
I can't remember. My brain is screaming at me, Chris Evans, and I know that's not what you asked.
Yeah, not the actor's name. Did some quick research on the side here too.
Yeah.
Captain America real name. It's quite the
Real
Google
name.
search.
Chris Evans.
If it's just Chris, what if his name just was just Chris Evans?
Oh God, it's perfect. Match made in heaven.
All right, so quick little technology update. I'm an idiot and forgot to record the last about 30, 40 minutes or so. I'm just going to say this. Cal State Northridge did very well. They won their 3 games. They beat Santa Barbara, they beat Cal Poly, and they beat whoever else it was they played, Riverside.
Yep.
They handled their business. They won 3 after they stunk out the joint for the last few months, or the last month. And UC Irvine is really good. And also, I'll just mention this too, since it was in that little bit. Devin Saran was one of my players of the week, and Deshaun Allen Ikens is my other guy who's on there for right now.
Nice.
Now that we're back to normal, I guess.
Yeah, don't let 11 episodes fool you. We're still new. We're still figuring this out.
It happens. If anything, it's a learning experience.
Yes.
We'll never forget to hit the button again.
Yeah, now we know to double check.
That's right. Um, so are you ready for trivia?
Yeah,
Um,
I do love trivia.
so I'm not going to pretend we already did the first question already. It was uh, UC. So the theme is mascots for this one. I didn't tell him what the category was, just like he didn't do that for me. So just to make it fair. So the question was, besides UC Davis, name the other schools that use Aggies as their nickname.
Yeah, and I got 3 out of 4 correct. Um, the answers I came up with were Texas A&M, New Mexico State, and it took me a minute, but I pulled out one that he didn't think I was going to get is North Carolina A&T, an HBCU with an incredible band. And if
Mm.
you haven't listened to HBCU bands, then you should.
Were they the big inspiration for Drumline?
Honestly, they were probably one of the
Well,
inspirations. I
I guess
don't
they
know.
are very heavily featured in them
Yeah.
or in there.
But and then I couldn't for the life of me come up with the fourth one. Turns out it was Utah State.
Yeah. All right. So now that we're back to normal, you ready for the second one?
Yeah.
All right. So the mascot for Cal State Northridge is the Matadors. Which I believe you probably know what the occupation of a matador, what they do.
Yes.
What do they do?
They put mats in front of doors.
Indeed,
No.
indeed they do.
No, something similar. They fight bulls for
Indeed they
entertainment.
do. And the question is based off of a matador. Where is the largest bull ring in the world? Is located where? Largest bull ring
Um,
by capacity, I should say.
by capacity. Okay. Can I get broad with it and just give you a country? Or do
Yes,
I need like
yes,
a
that is fine.
city? A Spain?
It is not Spain.
It's not Spain. That's where they do the running of the bulls. Wow. Um, okay, cool. If it's not Spain, my immediate next thought is either Portugal or somewhere in South America, maybe somewhere that I know that has more cows than people, so the price of beef is stupid cheap. Argentina. I'm a
It is not
Argentina
there
final
either.
answer.
It is
Really?
not there either.
Damn. Okay. Um, geez, how many more guesses do I get? My next two are going to be Brazil or Portugal and then Brazil.
Surprisingly, no. It is Mexico City, Mexico.
Wow, okay.
That the arena is the Plaza de Toros, Mexico.
Okay.
It seats
That's wild.
41,000 people.
Wow. I've never associated bullfighting with Mexico. That's always been like a Spain thing. And so then I was just like, okay, what other like old world Spanish like colonies are there? And that's why I was like, okay, what about South America?
I did include one other kind of cool one from Spain in Seville, the Catedral del Toreo. Which
I love
I just like
that.
that because it's just the bull cathedral
Yeah, that's
or
badass.
whatever it is, the cathedral bullfighting. There was one when I was looking this up. There was someone who was like responsible for like the death of like 700 bulls. Because of like how like good she was.
Jeez.
Besides, they also had the how like how often like matadors get like gored and stuff.
Yeah. That's like that woman is like the bull's like Joseph Mengele or something like that.
Oh man,
She's like, it's the angel of death for the bulls. That's
the
crazy.
oh, it just makes me think there was this a segment from the Colbert Report. There was a guy who's a bullfighter. He got a horn through his neck out of his mouth, and it was like the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's a free piercing right there.
And it has like forever like scarred me for life.
Yep. That's horrendous.
Yes. Also, just made me think since we also apparently talked about professional wrestling on here a bunch too. There is a wrestler whose his finishing maneuver was just called the gore.
Okay.
it was just a spear.
Oh no.
His name was Rhino.
A nice Spider-Man villain gone professional wrestler.
Yeah, he was a he basically fit the what you would think of as a wrestler. He's just like a really big dude who with like long hair who was jacked and just hit people really hard.
Yeah, just the Rhino. He just speared people. Always solving
Uh,
problems with his head.
so you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
So number three, we're gonna go to the UC Irvine side now. Anteaters. Anteaters eat up to 30,000 ants and termites a day. However, they don't have any teeth. Could you name a couple other land mammals that don't have teeth?
Don't have teeth.
I'll give you a hint. We mentioned one of these in the part of this show that got canceled, that got not recorded.
Oh, armadillos?
Armadillos do not have teeth.
Hmm. That's funny. Where what are they is it like a trick question they just have something else or is it just that they're just gumming
I guess
it?
they just don't have teeth. I think they probably have. I mean, also what I looked at from when they saw anteaters. Anteaters just have like a whole bunch of like spines on their like tongue.
Hmm. Fair.
Probably help with them eating ants.
Okay. Um so okay, so from one of my previous trivias, I know that anteaters are related to armadillos and sloths. So I'm gonna go with sloths.
Very good. Sloths would be the
Cool.
other one.
Nice.
Which also makes you also is a weird question. Isn't there some weird movie that there's like a meme of a sloth, an animated sloth.
Oh, Zootopia?
Yeah. I don't know why I was trying to think that very strange movie. Um, so next one, my fourth one, we're gonna go to UC Riverside for this one, to the Highlanders.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, Highlanders they have their roots. Basically, their roots are from the Scottish Highlands. Uh, and you are familiar with the Highland Games, correct?
Yeah.
So obviously, one of the most famous events or well-known event at the Highland Games is the caber toss. I will take anything within this range. How much does a caber weigh?
Oh, geez. Um, how much does a caber weigh? Ah, I'm gonna go with 250 pounds.
It is lighter than that.
Lighter? Wow, okay.
Yeah,
Um, 100 even?
it is in that range. So the range that I found says it can be anywhere from 90 to 150 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I thought they weighed more than that as well.
I did too. My next guess would have been like 500 or something because like those are some big boys tossing and women, I guess, tossing those cabers.
It's also impressive when they do it too.
Honestly, I didn't know they were called cabers until you just said it. So
You know
I'm
how
like, yeah, they're throwing them trees.
also since in the part we didn't record, we also had mentioned Final Destination. You got to get another mention of wood killing people.
Yeah, no, I talked about how Final Destination is one of the best horror films because of its impact on society. Much like Jaws, Jaws wasn't inherently scary, but the way it made people afraid of bodies of water was unmatched by anything else. And Final Destination the same way, even though it might be some of the Final Destination movies are a little bit lower budget. The way they make people never want to drive behind a timber log truck or next to anything that can fall over onto them, it really changed the way people like act in the world.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, like no one will drive behind one of those trucks anymore.
Yep. And it's all because of that movie. So that's why it will forever be one of the greatest horror films for me.
Wasn't there also was one where like a tire went like flying off a car or something and then just like hit someone and that's how they died. I feel
You
like
may
that
be
is
thinking,
one.
so the fourth one, the worst one, was at the NASCAR track, where
Okay, that's
like,
probably one of them.
yeah, that's god awful. From the CGI to the story to the everything, it was by far one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I've always, that was movies always felt like the show. If the show A Thousand Ways to Die just took movie form,
Pretty much, yeah.
except like minus like the random. Except they actually like showed more of the violence than like Thousand Ways to Die did.
Yeah. I honestly, I wonder, kind of like the timber truck. I'd be interested to see how many people were afraid of tanning beds after they watched that one. I forget which one it is. It's either the first or the third one, or the second or the third one, maybe. The one where those two girls die in the tanning salon. I wonder how many people were afraid to tan because of that.
I just like the idea that they just like didn't. They just get like flipped over like a hamburger, and you just hear the sizzle.
Oh God.
A horrible, horrible sound.
Yeah, no, that's also like cinematography wise, one of the coolest shots was like the top down view of the tanning bed with like her
Yeah.
arm sticking out trying to reach for help. And then it like smash cuts to the top down view of her coffin. That
Oh
sent
boy.
me. Yeah, one of the best shots I've ever seen.
um. So my last question I had for you, we're gonna go to the beach. So
Here
Long
for
Beach,
it.
so obviously Long Beach State's nickname for their basketball team is the Beach.
The beach.
So what two states claim to have the longest beach, the longest mileage of beach?
Um,
I should say I should clarify. This is an individual beach, not like entire coastline.
okay. California, because we found out that Long Beach is actually the longest beach, right?
I said that one would be on there. There's two others that I'm looking at too.
Oh, two others. Okay, okay. Um, Let me get with Minnesota because if you look at the shorelines that Minnesota has with their lakes, Minnesota actually has more shoreline than Florida.
They would not have the longest individual beach.
Hmm. Geez, is it Florida?
It's not them either.
Gee, oh my God. New York.
Nope.
Um, Trying to think of individual beach. Virginia.
You're close to one of them.
Okay. North Carolina.
North Carolina, Cape Hatteras,
Cape
the
Hatteras.
Cape
Okay.
Hatteras National Seashore.
I've been there. Very beautiful.
Me too. I haven't
Um,
been there in a very long time,
yeah. Cape Hatteras Lighthouse is the tallest brick lighthouse in the world, I think. And
but not be
me being,
surprising.
yeah, me being afraid of heights, I went to the top one time and I was terrified.
It's a very beautiful lighthouse, though.
Yeah, I like the color scheme of it. The like
Then
the
then
ribbon,
there's
the ribbon.
then there's a solid white one called Ocracoke.
Ocracoke, yeah, that one's cool. It's like really short and stubby, and you have to take a ferry there. One of my favorite
Yep.
things on my family vacations was taking the ferry there.
There's also a lot of pirate stuff there too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, a lot of
Except for like
shipwrecks.
to like Blackbeard and stuff.
Yeah, I was really surprised about that. South Carolina is like that too. When once you get to like Myrtle Beach and stuff, there's a lot of pirate stuff down there, and
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. Um, let's see. So we got North Carolina, which makes sense. Other than that, other than, like Alaska, let's say that.
So the last one that I found was Texas,
Texas. Hmm.
Padre Island, which I guess is
So,
technically claimed by Texas.
okay. So yeah, I've been to Texas before. I can't remember if I've been to South Padre or if I've been to Galveston or if they're the same really. I was there when I was like a little kid because I got family in Texas, but I can't remember anything about it. So I'll have to get out there eventually to see if the beaches are good or not.
So they have 66 miles of coastline,
Wow.
right, all right along the Gulf of Mexico too. So that was trivia. I was going to try to find some more on some of the different ones, but I think a lot of them were going to
Yeah.
be a lot harder slash weirder to find.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten to Texas in a minute. I think my next state would have been Michigan, maybe. But
I could see that one too. Um, so where do we want to go? Since we have trivia, we'll have to continue with that again whenever we decide to do our next one of these, which will probably be soon enough since the season's getting closer to the end here.
right.
Um, so do you want to go the direction of talking about UC Davis basketball or Hawaii?
Let's talk about the island first.
I like the sound of the island. Um, so yeah, sorry, we're just falling apart one more minute at a time as it gets later into the night.
Hmm.
But we're doing this really to test ourselves at this point. Um, so Hawaii has won 4 of their last 5 games. They beat Cal State Fullerton. Uh, they beat UC San Diego in overtime, and they beat who else did they beat? Um, oh, they beat UC Davis as well. I'll start off with Fullerton. So Fullerton were held to 32% shooting from the field in that entire game against Hawaii. Um, so they took a 2-0 lead, and then the closest the game ever got was 7 in the second half.
Jeez.
The Hawaii just whooped them. So Hawaii at one point had a 20-point lead in the first half, and anytime Fullerton basically tried to rally, Hawaii pretty much put the foot down, and the lead pretty much didn't get within single digits the entire time in the second half.
Wow.
So DJ Bruton had 19, a rebound, an assist, and 4 steals. Torrey San Antonio had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. And then Grayson Carper, their 3-point shooter, had 11 points, 2 rebounds, a block, and a steal. Fullerton is, I mean, we were talking before about if Cal Poly could make it the tournament, the conference tournament. They're definitely not going to make the NCAA tournament. Also, travesty happens.
Yeah.
Fullerton still has a shot at it because they just have to chase down Riverside.
Yeah, that's a very doable jump for them in the table.
Then we have Noel Coleman had 21 points, 2 rebounds, assists, and a steal. Jovan McClanahan, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Ryan Rapp, 11. Our guy Ryan Rapp, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. And Juan Munez had 10 points, a rebound, and 3 assists, and a steal. So Hawaii pretty much doing what they should be doing, which is beating a team that's not as good as them. But then what they did the next 2 games is they beat 2 teams that are better than them. So they beat UC. So they beat UC San Diego, which not so fun for you since you took UC San Diego.
Yeah, that I don't know. I'm hitting a rut with the bets. So I can't catch a break.
My system play somehow is still working at the moment.
Yeah.
Which when we get to the picks, the system is back on, by the way, too.
Right.
So this
And
was
it
their
survived their push to the conference tourney.
it better. So this was the first overtime win for Hawaii since January 30th of 2021 over UC Irvine.
Jeez.
So 3 years is their last time. They stayed in striking distance pretty much all the first half. UC, pretty much both sides did. Pretty much big threes from Hawaii kept the game close. I think, yeah, UC San Diego had the chance to pretty much end the game in regulation, but Bryce Pope missed a layup, like a layup jump shot that would have
Mm,
put the game to 5, and then Muniz came down, hit a three, descended to overtime.
rough.
So, and the 70s, UC San Diego led pretty much the whole first half. And then there was a stretch in the second half where both sides they went 13 for 13 from the field. So a bunch of names to read off for this one because overtime game, a lot of guys had double digits, which for this, 11 guys total had double digits.
Jeez.
So I'll start off with UC San Diego. So Anawanawa, I will have, that's just his name. Tate Jones, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Tyler McGee, 16 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Hayden Gray, 13, 3, 4, 4 assists, 2 steals. Francis, whatever it is, however you say his name, Wow Corey, I guess. 12 points, a rebound, and assist. And Bryce Pope, 10 points, a rebound, and 2 steals. Then Hawaii, we have Justin McCoy. Pretty much had he just had bar, no steals.
No steals.
22 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks. Noel Coleman had 16, 5 rebounds and a steal. Ryan Rapp does have bars though. As we learned, he has multiple bars. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and a steal. Cody Williams, 13 points, a rebound, 2 assists. And Bernardo da Silva, 10 points, 8 rebounds, and a block. And then Juan Muniz had pars. 10 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal. So that was pretty much that from so good for Hawaii. They were able to take down a team that was above them in terms of a weight class.
Yeah, it's good on them.
Then our last little bit on Hawaii, we'll look at the Rainbow Warriors taking down, just beating down UC Davis. So this game ended 87-70. So a pretty comfortable win at that too. So UC Davis was held to 26% shooting in the second half, so they were not making anything. Which also was sad because they had the lead pretty much up until about 6 minutes left in the first half, and they didn't see the lead again. Hawaii had so this is for Hawaii. This is their 5th straight win over UC Davis in Honolulu.
Wow.
They shot 53% from the field, and in their homestand, so the last 2 games they had played, they're shooting 54% from the field.
Jeez, that's incredible.
So yeah, so they, I guess they like the home cooking, the home luau, I guess.
Yeah.
So for UC Davis, we might as well talk about them. Elijah Pepper had 27, 4 and 1 and an assist. Also feels like if you talk about Pepper, you also are talking about Ty Johnson too. So 15 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, and a steal, and 2 steals. And Kane Milling, 12 points. He also had a bar, a literal just bar. 12 points, a rebound, a block, an assist, and a steal.
Nice.
Somehow that's even just more pleasing to me than if it was just bars, just a singular bar.
Putting up big ones.
Actually, that'll have to be our new thing. It'll be bar of the week.
Yeah.
Who had the best? Who had the best bar?
Mm-hmm. Sponsored by Eminem.
Oh boy. So Hawaii, I also had picked Justin McCoy as one of my uh one of the guys of my team of the week. Uh, and since I mentioned him earlier, and we probably won't talk about him again, Anawanawa Tate Jones was my other one.
Nice.
So at least to get so then before we end with UC Davis, I say we could just do our teams of the week just to get them out of the way.
Yeah.
Um, I'll just rifle off mine since I've just kind of been saying them. So I had UC Davis's Elijah Pepper as always. Uh, he could take all of his Player of the Week honors and just like deadlift them as pride. Uh, Darren Saran from UC Irvine, our boy from Istanbul. Deshaun Allen Ikens from Northridge, Justin McCoy from Hawaii, and Anawanala Tate Jones from UC San Diego.
Nice. Yeah. So we only share one person, so I've got 4 new people to talk about.
Oh, I
Mine,
like that.
at center, I've got Ben Grishty.
Oh, I like that.
I think that's how you say it. So yeah, he's a center from Riverside, and so against Irvine in their win, he had 26 points and he was 6 of 10 from 3. So
Jeez.
yeah, in the paint from behind the arc, he was absolutely putting the ball in the hoop.
I like putting the ball in the hoop.
Yeah, no, he was a big factor in that game. Forward, we got Abu Bakar Traore
I like
from Long
him.
Beach. Yeah, he had a double-double against Cal Poly and against UC Davis.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
so yeah, he's racking up the bars big time. We
Racking
got
up the bars.
this guy. I need to put him in for best name. Messiah Thompson, a guard
Oh, that's
also from
awesome.
a long guard from Long Beach State. Also very consistent. Elijah Pepper, duh. That's literally I put that in my notes. I'm reading that verbatim. It just says Pepper, duh.
Yeah.
And
I thought
then
about Caleb Higgins.
yeah, and then Bostic from Northridge.
Also a very good choice.
Yeah, he's a big reason why Northridge was able to get back on the horse and win those 3 games in a row.
So I like the sound of that. Those are our teams of the week. I gotta say that I do enjoy doing that too, because it gets you thinking about guys you wouldn't normally expect to hear from. All right, so we're ready to look for at our last team, which is UC Davis, that also went 3-1 this past the last little bit of time.
Yeah, that should be.
It's too late in the night right now. We're just falling apart one little bit at a time. So UC Davis, so they've been hot. They've won 7 of their last 9.
Oh wow.
So UC, so their wins, they beat UC Santa Barbara, they beat Cal Poly, and then they also beat who else did they beat? Oh, Cal State Fullerton. That's who else they beat. So we'll start off. So UC Santa Barbara, they won 79-69. The game was pretty tight for the first in the first half. Since there were like 10 lead changes.
Jeez.
So UC Santa Barbara had brought the Aggies back to like a 3-point lead with about 2 minutes left. Then the Aggies, at least UC Davis, pretty much controlled it in the last second half. They had a 12-point lead and a 12-point run and an 11-point run or lead, I guess, lead. And then they finished the game on a 7-0 run. So pretty much right when UC Davis got it close, or Santa Barbara got it close, they pushed it away.
Yep.
So AJ Mitchell, I considered him for my team of the week. If his team won more games, I probably would have put him on there, but not his fault. Um, so AJ Mitchell had 25, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. Johan Traore had 20 points, uh, 4 rebounds, and an assist. Which, if anything, of all the UC Santa Barbara games I watched, it feels like everything pretty much runs through those two, particularly AJ Mitchell. But
Yeah, very much a two-headed spear.
so here is definitely what did not help UC Santa Barbara. They had 16 turnovers in the game.
Jeez.
Um, and also what didn't help is UC Davis never trailed in the second half. So Elijah Pepper had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, a block, and 4 steals. He's putting up bars.
There it is.
Ty Johnson, 24. Well, he's also getting bars that way, and he's also lifting bars if you look at his arms.
Yeah.
Ty Johnson, 24 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Kane Milling, 13, 5, 13 and 5, 2 assists and a steal. Nico Roshak, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. Also another bar. Actually, that ought to be our next. That has to be our like sickos saber metrics. Will be how many bars does a team put up in a game?
Yeah. That'd be really fun as a live show or a special episode if we could somehow get in the gym with Elijah Pepper and like go through a workout.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
How long would we last?
You'd last longer than me.
We're
I would
only
be
gonna
like,
we're only gonna do arms.
yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'd be too dead to do anything the next day. I'm like, I all I can do is shrug, and like even that hurts.
Even then, even then I still would hate it. Uh, so UC Davis, after they did that to UC Santa Barbara, they only beat Cal Poly by 7.
Wow.
So UC Davis only had a 2-point lead at halftime. After the half, Cal Poly shot 34% from the field. So we talked about this in the bit that is now lost into the ether. But Cal Poly appears to just do like really good in the first half of these games and then just completely falls apart after that.
Yep.
At least from what I understand, basketball plays 2 halves and not one.
Yeah. And like we talked about, it's no use to do really well in the first 3 quarters of the game only to give it away in the last quarter. That's the most important one, if you will.
So that's where you make your money, is in the last half or the last quarter. So Cal Poly only made 2 threes in the second half, which also is not really going to help your cause if you want to win.
Right.
They did end up getting it down to a single-digit game at the end, but it was basically a double-digit win.
Yeah, some like garbage time points.
Yeah, so at least only 2 guys to talk about from the perspective of Cal Poly. Kobe Sanders had 14 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Joel Armatrading had 10 points, 13 rebounds, also putting up a bar, an assist, 4 blocks, and a steal. That's another one. UC Davis didn't trail in the second half again. And they also like drew 15 turnovers off of Cal Poly.
Mm.
So not the best. It's sad. I feel bad never like picking on Cal Poly this much.
Yeah, but I mean, this is basketball, and you got to put it out on the court. We can't have them opening up a bakery with all them turnovers. I
It's
don't know.
true.
I'm fishing at stuff right now. Um, but yeah, no, that's the best I could come
Are we?
up with. But yeah, no, I mean,
Are we all at this point?
yeah, it's I don't know if it's a conditioning issue, not being able to finish, not being able to, lock down when they need to. I don't know what has to change for them.
I mean, but also it just isn't helping. Yeah, they're just flat out not making shots.
Yep.
And I mean, at least the way I like to think of it, making shots pretty much almost solves everything. So the other game that at least caught my attention to was UC Davis also played Fullerton and won. Um, so they UC Davis won 71-58. Um, Fullerton, believe it or not, actually had fewer turnovers than UC Davis did. They had
Wow.
13. It said they had 13. But this game overall just never really got close. UC Davis pretty much just showing how much better they are, and the way they're going to win a lot of their games is going to be with defense.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So for at least Fullerton, actually, oh, by the way, with UC Davis, once they pretty much got control of the game, they were not letting go. So for Fullerton, John Mikey Square had 19 points, 3 rebounds, a block, and 2 steals. Not quite a bar. And then for UC Davis, Elijah Pepper, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. Ty Johnson, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Kane Milling had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. So overall, I mean, UC Davis is a very good team. There's not really much you can say other than that. Feels like barring any catastrophe, it's going to be them and probably UC Irvine in the final
Yep. I feel
of
like we're gonna
the
get a
of the Hercules Tire Big West tournament, whatever it's called.
yeah, I feel like we're gonna get a nice round three to their fight to even it up. Or well, it is evened up right now. They've got one win apiece against each other. It's time to break the tie.
I actually would love to see it because yeah, because oh yeah, they split the regular season series and both of the games were pretty much tight the whole way through.
Yeah, I think both games finished by a 2 point margin. One of them in overtime, one of them in regulation.
And UC Davis should have won the one that they lost.
Something like that, yeah.
Because oh yeah, they lost the one. I think they lost the game that was at UC Irvine, and then they won at home,
Yeah.
which was
They
chaos.
basically just showed out in front of their home crowds. Both the teams did.
I say if you're gonna pick somewhere to show out, you might as well do it at home.
Yeah, not a whole lot of road warriors in this conference. They love playing at their house.
Yeah, to say the least. Um, so at least last little bit before we do our conference preview or conference whatever we're calling this. It's 1/2 in the morning. Um, so where we are betting wise, my record is 18-2. Yours is at 11-9. I think you're about to get back on the horse here because I saw what both of the picks you sent me were, and I think they both look very good.
Yeah, I feel good about them.
And then
Which ones
and then
did I say again?
mine'll be interesting. But one of mine won tonight.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
So there are any games for this weekend that interest you? It's gonna be Long Beach State and Northridge actually looks pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Or
especially
it
because
probably is
like,
the most interesting.
yeah, I think everything else is kind of like a heavyweight versus a non-heavyweight. Hawaii and Santa Barbara could go either way. I feel like Long Beach State and Northridge can go either way. But when it comes to Irvine and Bakersfield, San Diego and Fullerton, and Davis and Riverside, I think those are locks, especially because Bakersfield and Riverside have trouble winning away from home, and both of those games are on the road.
And yeah, that's as much as we love both of them. Uh, we when you're betting, you're not betting with your heart. You're betting with your brain.
Right.
1-800 gambler if you have a problem.
Call
Uh,
or text.
or do both even just to make sure you get through.
Yeah. And that's what we call what do they
Responsibility.
call well no, what do they call that in betting when you like make two different bets to guarantee yourself money?
Hedging.
Hedge, yeah, yeah. Just go ahead and hedge those bets by calling and texting.
Wouldn't that be brutal if they just didn't respond to either?
Oh no.
You're just
They're just they just
oh
were they just responded and they were like, honestly, I'm feeling 21 black.
oh man. I do always think it's funny that the sports books like have the you call 1-800 gambler on their like any of their promo ads.
Yeah.
Is it really you
Yeah.
guys want them to call that number?
Oh man. Um yeah, well, I think they have to. I think it's kind of like the Surgeon General's warning on like cigarettes and alcohol.
Yeah. It's probably, yeah, also probably the reason why they put the whatever is the please drink responsibly on the like
Yeah.
beer ads. So, yeah, other than that, this slate does not look the best on Saturday.
No, a lot of late games too. A
A
lot of 10
pretty
o'clocks.
even the slate for today, even though the games are over now, but the yeah, I thought it looked kind of chalky.
Yeah.
The game that interested me the most was Long Beach State and UC Davis, and Long Beach State won.
Yeah, so Saturday, actually there is an earlier game. There's a 4 p.m. game. That's Hawaii at Santa Barbara.
Geez, that's like 10 a.m. on the Hawaii body clock.
Yeah, that's a breakfast game right there.
Probably couldn't pick much better place to get to have breakfast than Hawaii.
I do love Hawaiian food. It's so good.
Get some pineapple,
Some huli huli chicken.
right? Um,
Some spam masubi.
so we want to, I guess, make our picks formally announced.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. You want to start?
Yeah, so both my picks, pulling it up from when I sent you. Yeah, so I'm taking Hawaii over Santa Barbara. I believe that game is on Saturday.
It
And
is.
UC San Diego over Fullerton also on Saturday.
All right. So let me remember what mine. Also for the record, so yeah, Hawaii. You are actually so you're 1-1 when you've picked Hawaii to win,
Nice.
and then what was your other one was UC San Diego. You're 2-0 when you've picked them to win. So feeling good probably about those.
Yep. Get me back out of my rut, please.
So I am running on the system play again, just because the system has worked. My past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the last 6 of these have worked. Um, so
Nice.
we are gonna run this. We're gonna run this into the ground. So I took it doesn't really matter right now because the game ended. But before that, because I posted it on the social media, uh, Hawaii. I had Hawaii to beat Cal Poly. That happened. Hawaii won by 29 points. And then my other one, other play, UC Davis is at home and they play UC Riverside. Uh, UC Davis is, well, now they're probably going to be mad that they lost. And they are also playing to keep their double bye. So they are going to take Riverside very seriously.
Right.
And unfortunately for Riverside, that also means that they're probably going to put them in the dirt. So before we sign off, do you have any other things to add?
No, I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish so far with 11 episodes. As always, let us know in the comments. Shoot us a message, do whatever you got to do. What do you want to see? What do you want us to talk about? Do we talk too much? Whatever you got, let us know. We're open to all suggestions. We'll at least give it a look. And if you or a loved one go to a Big West school, hit us up, tell us your story, and we'll be looking for guest speakers here eventually. So let's see if we can get that rolling. My goal is to get the commish, the Dan Butterly, but we'll see how that goes.
That's our guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also congrats. You survived their first technical glitch. And by glitch, I mean that we just forgot to record it.
Yeah, we went back to our roots when we would just hop on something like this and just talk about sports and play video games. We just did it without the video games.
Yeah, and the recording part.
Yeah.
So sorry about that, folks. I will do better. I don't know what I'll do. I'll do 100 squats.
Oh boy.
Which I already did yesterday. So I don't know if I want to do them again.
Elijah Pepper says it's too much legs.
That's true. I'll do 100 pull-ups, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess that would be arms, so that probably would be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go like us, follow us, subscribe to us, rewatch us, watch us again. Watch us while you're sleeping. Just play it in the background.
Yeah, and I'll plug my own thing here. It doesn't really pertain to Beach and Ball, but I figured I'd use this platform for good.
It's for a good cause.
So in April, I'll let you more know about times and dates and stuff. But in April, I'm going to be participating in an event that benefits the Children's Hospital here in Lexington, Kentucky. Once again, I understand nothing to do with the Big West, but if you or a loved one have a giving heart or just want to share it, I'll have more information for you in one of our episodes in the coming days or weeks. But yeah, please like and subscribe to this show here, and also check out my charity stream for Dungeons and Dragons for our charity event for Children's Hospital.
And yeah, if you can donate what you can, that'd be spectacular because it is actually going to like a really good cause.
Yeah. 100% of the proceeds go to the hospital. We don't take a thing. We donate we volunteer all of our time and effort into this. No, we take nothing. We give everything. So,
also an event that'll be coming up in the very near future, given that the Big West tournament is coming up soon. Lucas, I believe, will be away. So as punishment, basically, for not recording, is I'm going to record streams by myself.
There you go.
So I will be watching the Big West tournament, particularly the championship game, and recording that live. So I'll get that onto the socials as soon as I get around to figuring out what that is.
Nice. I can't wait to see.
Yes, it's gonna be. I also received my Big Ten shirt today, a couple days ago too.
Nice.
The logo on it is very oddly placed, which I don't think it was actually. I don't think this was them that did it, for the record.
Where's it
so,
at?
It's like, so you know how like some have like right here?
Oh no, is it below the nipple?
Yeah, it's like right.
Oh no.
It's
What?
like I was like, I don't know if any like word, I don't know if a logo or wording has ever been on that part of a shirt before.
Yo, that is weird. Wow. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's a misprint.
If anything, it was the company that did it wrong, not
Yeah.
them.
Right. That's crazy though.
The Big West only puts out the highest quality material,
Yeah.
which also have to get one of their quarter zips then.
Yeah, I wish I need to call their marketing person and be like, "Yo, do you sell visors?"
I think they might actually.
Really? I might have to
I
get
have
me a
no idea.
visor.
I'll have to look in their. I'll have to look on their store again.
Nice.
Um, so that all being said, like us on or follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on TikTok. Like the videos. I'm gonna try to get into more of the gambling side of things on TikTok too, just because that stuff generates numbies. Um, so on this late night, I'll remind we'll sign up from here. So I'm Ryan.
And I'm Lucas.
So it is for where I am. It is almost 11 o'clock out in California right now, where the beach is. But once it gets to the morning, go enjoy the beach. Go enjoy the ball.